Hey everyone, how are we doing? Let me turn on my volume here just a little bit. Oh, I'm in the background talking to myself. No, there we go. Turned off the stream in the background. How's everyone doing? It's the morning. It's 10 a.m. in Knoxville time, but it's 9 a.m. Texas time. What questions do you have? Taylor, good to see you here. Let's throw out 100 points. You know what today is? People probably don't know it. If you're a former student, you know what today is. Good morning, Kimberly. Good to see you. Today is... It's Wacky Wednesdays. Little Crash Bandicoot right there. But what questions are there? What are people working on? Should we do some Chapter 2 quiz? I think we have some Stat 201 here. Maybe we got some 320 or 474. It's your call. It's your office hours. It's our time here for you to pick what we're going to do. I have a question about the data analytics assignment. The first one, Paul? We can check that out. Data analytics. Is it the first one? Let's look at data analytics assignment number 1. Get that done. Get that grade. First or second data analytics assignment. I'm struggling with downloading Jump after watching the videos. Let me know what your problem is, Taylor. What issue you're running into? How do we screenshot from a laptop? Let's go talk about data analytics number 1. And Taylor, jump in with those questions. Let's go ahead and go 330. 338. Stat 201. Data analytics assignment 1. Let's go check it out right here on the main screen. Okay, so right now, question about how do we screenshot from laptop. So what's really awesome is if you go to this video on taking a random sample, I think it'll bring you to the playlist right here. And in the playlist, the second video is taking screenshots. Question about Canvas grading not showing up. Oh, let's check it out here next, Kimberly. You got it. So if you look right here, I go over how to take screenshots. But do you have a Mac or a PC, Paul? Do you have a Mac or a PC? I talk about at the end here how to take screenshots. Do you have a Mac or a PC? A Mac. So on the Mac, when you get your random sample, we got a lot of Macs right here. You might know this. Tell me if you know this, how to take a screenshot. This is how I like to take screenshots on Mac. I'll show you here. We're going to download the Diamonds data set. We're going to open it up in Jump. Jump's hopefully not going to say my license. Last time it was like, your license. I already renewed my... I think it's trying to use Jump 15 and I have Jump 16. So let me go change the file association on that really quick, because I think it's trying to use Jump 15, which I didn't renew the license for. I renewed it for Jump 6. Oh, it is Jump 16. Oh, it's open with annual license now. Okay. Renew for Jump. There you go. Apply. Okay. I have Jump 16. Let me just open Jump 16 normally. Okay, let's take a look. Command Shift 3 takes a total screenshot. 100 points right there, Kimberly. Command Shift 3 takes a total screenshot. I prefer to use Command Shift 4, and we'll see that here in a second. Let me reopen the license. I don't know why it's not saving my license. Okay. Brian, UTK. It's the third time. Your license has been accepted. Thank you. Third time I've updated the license. I hope Jump stops asking me every time I open lunch, Jump to renew my license. Let's go to the Diamonds data set and open it up right here. And here's the Diamonds data set. You're welcome, Kimberly. Excellent work right there. So you want to take a random sample of 200 plus the last 2 of your UTID right here. So we're going to go to tables, subset. So if you see where I'm at right there, tables, and then subset. Once you do this, nice job, Jarius. 100 points, Jarius, helping out there too. And then we're going to go to random sample size, 200. Last 2 of my UTID will pretend it's 11. And then I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to take a random sample right there. Now, you only need to take up this one shot. I'm on a PC right now. So on PC, you want to use what's called snipping tool. You can hit the Windows button and type snipping tool to get the snipping tool on a PC. This is only PC though. So you want to hit the Windows button and type snipping tool. That'll make this appear on a PC. So you go here and take a screenshot of the following. You just need to make sure we see the random sample. And there you see it down there. I think, let me make sure I open up Word right here. I'm going to drop this into Word. Now, if you were, I'll show you some things right here. After I install, when I click back, it makes me install everything again. We might need to meet, Taylor. We might need to hop on a call and meet. Feels like it's hard. Yeah, Taylor, we might need to hop on a call. On Discord, we can join a call pretty quickly, or I can send a Zoom link. But Discord, you can just click call. So when I'm free, especially later, Kyle, good to see you here. Let me know, and we'll probably hop on or swing by OIT. But if you jump on a call with me, we can check it out, and I can view the screen. And like you said, it's going to be easier when I see it. It sounds like it didn't install, though. Taylor, I've got a suggestion right after this too, though. I think I might be able to help you out. I might be able to fix it. I got an idea. Good to see her, Samantha. So this is what you should have right here. The greater, you're going to miss one thing, though. What are you going to miss? Is this officer? Yeah, it's for stats, for 201, for 324, 474. Kyle, good to see you here. So where are you going to lose points on this? Who knows? And let's check the rubric. Rubrics are great to tell us where our points are going to be at. Where are you going to lose points right now? We took our random sample. We took a good screenshot. So where is someone going to lose points right now? Now, they're not going to get the bonus right here. We want to get that bonus. But where are they going to lose their points? Where are they going to lose their points? They're missing one thing. Let's go take a look at the document again right here. And it's important we know what we're missing. Always look at your rubrics for your points, kind of review them, be like, okay, am I getting these points? Am I getting these points? And so what is this person missing? The name, Paul, worth 100 points right there. We need to add Brian, and it's your name, Brian Stevens. Your name, don't put my name. It's your name. Someone's probably going to put Brian Stevens. Like, I don't know, you're probably not Brian Stevens. I mean, it might be. It's possible. I've never had a student with my name. I do know other people with my name, though. So, I mean, our name, I guess I should say. It's not my name. It's a name that exists. But put your name right there. You don't need your name, but just make sure it is your name. And then down here, you could take a screenshot of the Discord. And so if you're on the Discord, let's see right here. I was replying to someone saying it could be. So I'm going to take a screenshot. And I was posting right there on the Discord. So if you're on the Discord, take a screenshot, and that gets you the 101. So does that make sense right here? This right here is now 101. We have a proper screenshot. We have our name. And then we have the Discord screenshot. So this is going to be our 101 for this first assignment. Now, the error that people usually run into where they could lose points, probably a very common miss of points, is a lot of times people take screenshots and they'll do the following. We'll look at two common errors, and then I have an advice for Taylor. I think I might be able to do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this right here, what's wrong with this? Imagine you're turning this into a company right here. Now, I'm working on campus while trying to view office hours. Yeah, that's all right, Kimberly. Excellent. Kimberly, no worries. If you're just chilling out, working on campus, good stuff. I've had a lot of people who are working their job on campus, maybe sitting behind a desk or helping students or working at a student union or something. And then just joining office hours. We're glad to have you here. That's awesome. So there's a really quick option we can do to fix this image. Evan, great to see you. How can we fix this image? Who knows if you click the image, this image right here, we can fix it up and make it look all pretty. How are we going to fix this image? And feel free to ask questions. And Taylor, I got some advice in a second. How can we fix this image? Someone probably has an image like this, and I'm going to give you some advice on how to fix it. We can what it. 4-letter word. We're going to what this image. So we want to fix this image. Always can do this to your images to make them look a little better. So how are we going to fix this image and make it look a little bit better? We always want things to look great here. We are going to... worth 100 points if you know it. We're going to crop it, Paul, you're right. So we're going to click the image. We're going to go to picture format, and we're going to go to crop right here. You want to grab the little black bars right there and just bring it in right here. Bring it up right here. You really only need to the random sample. That's what they're going to be looking at right there. The top, not the end of the world if we have that, but we could just go down and make it look all pretty right there. The graders are going to be looking to see that you took a random sample. So this is what they need to see. They need to see the variables. Crop right there. Kimberly knows another 100 points. So they're going to make sure you have this. This is your A+ screenshots. Technically, graders could take off points if you give a screenshot like this that gives too much. Remember this for when you're doing your visualizations, that you can always crop your screenshot. So if you, sometimes I'll be like, I gotta get it perfect. If you get a little bit much, you can just crop it off right there. Just crop it off. I think the only other error I see is people don't take a random sample. They're gonna look at this number right here to make sure you took a random sample. So sometimes I see people don't take a random sample, and that's about it. Make sure you crop your screenshot. Make sure you take your random sample. Let's just review the points one more time. Doesn't hurt to say them one last time right here. Points are, do you have your name? Did you take a random sample? Did you screenshot properly? And then the bonus right here, did you add your Discord screenshot? So there are the points right there highlighted for you in green. Screenshot, name, proper random sample size, and also the bonus of the Discord. So nice and easy. Taylor, try this. Taylor, are you on a Mac or a PC? The instructions I give vary because So Taylor, are you on a Mac or PC? Can we go over homework 1? Yeah, let's do the next, Kyle, right here. You got it. Taylor's on a Mac. Taylor, I want you to hit Command Spacebar on a Mac. That's going to bring up the global search. So hit Command Spacebar, like hold Command and then hit Spacebar. That's global search on a Mac. And then type JMP. And does it show JMP on there? You might still have the installer, and there might be some operating system issue. It sounds like if it's not installing, it's probably an operating system. You might have to update your operating system. Oh, it does show jump. So when you do it, and then when you click, does it open up jump? And then does it say like a license thing? What happens when you hit Command Spacebar and then type JMP? It's showing jump, like it shows the jump icon, and then you can click it. You see a bunch of them. Do any of them look green? Do any of them look like this icon right here? It shows tables and stuff. If you press the red box to the top left, it shows tables and stuff on a Mac. Ooh. On which portion, Evan, right there? Evan, 100 points. Thank you for the tips right there. You want to see if it shows a green icon like this. There's a green icon like that one right there? That's the jump icon. Did that show up, Taylor? Because it might have installed. You just might be rerunning the installer. So if you see this green icon right here, a bunch of, but is it opening? Does it look like, does it look at all like this right here? Are you on like this area right here? New user welcome kit? So, no, you're not on? If you're free, are you free a little later today? I'll be free more towards, I think, like 5 p.m. Knoxville time. If you're on the Discord, all you have to do is hit call. Like if you're like, hey, Brian, are you free? And we can hit the call button. You can share a screen. It's super quick on the Discord. So that's why I love using Discord, because you just hit like call and you're just like, hey, Brian, are you free? I was meeting with a student last night, and just like 3-4 minutes, we got everything fixed up. That's a lot quicker than like Zoom. Like, here's the link. I'll meet you at this time. I've had so many students miss a Zoom meeting. I mean, I've missed a Zoom meeting too, but did you say 5? Yeah, 5-ish. Message me on if you're on the Discord, but I can also send a Zoom link. It's just like, I'll tell you this much. The efficiency I have on Discord is it's so cool. Like a student's like, can you help me with this? I'm like, yep, here you go. There you go. Anyways, let's do the next question right here for 474, I think it was. Here we go to the main screen. Thank you so much right here. We got Kyle asking about homework 1, 2D and E. And remember, ask those questions. We're going to be here answering all the questions. Let's see right here. Okay, Kyle. Let's get the assignment up and going. How's everyone doing this morning? I got my coffee right here. All the coffee. Coffee. Homework 1, working with data. This may be a long one. In need of more coffee. That's the story of my life right there. You can never have too much coffee. You're about to see Tool, and you're about to see some data analytics, and we'll even try to weave in some Tool 1 topics right here. So if you're hanging out, you're going to hear me maybe mention some Tool 1 stuff, and let's see how it applies here in 474. Went running at 6. That's awesome. Already on 1 cup of coffee. Wednesdays are my long day. Jerry, yes, you got this. Let's throw out a big 200 points. Okay, so we are in our studio right now. You might be wondering, what is our studio? Our studio is a place where we can do code, and I think a lot of times people fear coding, but coding, it's just a language, and you can just code if you know a little bit of math. You can be like, let me code 2 + 2. Hey, I coded 2 + 2. Can anyone else write some code in the chat? I'll throw 100 points if anyone writes any code in the chat. We're about to do question 2D and 2E kind of variants on those. But throw some code in the chat. Just any sort of code. It could be just math. You could just do some math. Ooh, we got some big questions right here. So don't fear coding. Think of it as like a tool to help us solve things. 4 + 4, that's worth 100 points right there. That is code. That's doing a little bit of, there you go. You did some code right there. You never thought you'd be coding today. You'd be like, wake up today and you're like, I'm going to be coding. You never know. So one of, I think 2D and 2E. Okay. Using simple combinations of which, first code ever, nice. Using simple combinations of which and is NA, print to the screen the positions of the two missing elements of your updated BAS vector. Okay, so first question is, what's a vector? Anyone ever stand line? Ooh, we got some HTML format in the chat right there. Evan, no idea what that is. Those are header formats for HTML. Technically, Evan, I think you would want to do... I think the proper thing is like this. That's start header 1, end header 1, and then there it is. Internet says this code. I don't know. Usually you start in an HTML code with that, like those little less than greater thans call like the HTML. So that's going to make a header like a certain size font. So those are called like the size of the header font. Like H1 I think is the largest, down to H6 is the smallest, or no, H6 is the largest thing. I always forget which way it goes. But those are headers in HTML code. Evan, I'm throwing you 200 points. Like that you looked up some code right there just to see some code. And that starts and ends the HTML code. So HTML is a different language than what we're using. We're using R. So R is a language, HTML is a language, C++ is a language, C# is a language. And great job, Kyle, right there, mentioning that a vector is a one-dimensional array of data, a one-dimensional collection of values. Perfect answer right there for what a vector is, Evan. So we can make a vector, and I'm doing, let's say, similar but different work. Not your problem. Okay. So with this right here, so there's tons. It's tons. I mean, people are making languages all the time. People got all different languages for coding. You got it, Evan. So we're going to take a look at right here at a vector of data. Let me ask you this. How many cups of coffee have you had today? How many cups of coffee have you had today? Let's say cups o coffee. So how many cups of coffee have you had today? And this is going to be your data, as long as you feel okay with saying this. 3, 0, 3, 2 for Brian, or we're right at 2 almost. 1. Let me ask my wife. She's not here. 0.4. 3 bottles of water, though? Do we already take Evan's answer? And Samantha. Okay. So I did something interesting right here with this data. I'm zooming in so you can see it really well. Remember, I just I took the data for my wife right there, but there's something interesting about her value. Evan might know the deal. I want to give 500 points because a lot of people talking right now are Stat 201. I made it so the points you have to get this semester are pretty crazy. A lot of people are going to get tons of points. But I just want to say a big thank you to Stat 201 just kind of being here, experiencing what this is, because you're not required to do this right here. You're not required. Like, I appreciate you being here, and like, this is quantitative data. How many cups of coffee have you had? So that's what Stat 201 is learning right now. Quantitative variables. How many cups of coffee? But that NA thing right there, Meath, good to see you here. That NA thing is what? This applies to Meath a lot. That NA thing is what? That NA thing is what? Who knows? It might take a 320 or 474 student to tell us that. I asked my wife how many cups of coffee she had. I say, Chelsea, how many cups of coffee have you had? Chelsea? Oh, she's taking care of animals. Not really null. It means like missing. Null means nothing. So null is like a nothing. Meet good answers right there. Null is a nothing, and NA is missingness. So if you look at the length of null, I think the length of null will be missing, or will be 0. It has no length, which means there is no length. I hate that. I'm trying to get it like a good view on the screen for you. The length of null, there's nothing in null, but the length of NA is 1. And why is the length of NA 1? The length of NA, and I know why it's doing this now, because it's going to the bottom of the chunk. So let me do the following. Insert our chunk. The length of NA is 1 because I asked Chelsea how many cups of coffee she's had, but I'm missing that value, as Jarius says right there. It's missing. It's empty. So does that make sense to say, does everyone see their values right here? There's my cups of coffee. I think there's Evan's cups of coffee. Also 3 cups of water, or 3 bottles of water. So lots of hydration right there. But these are the values we have for the cups of coffee. Now, if we want to find out where the missingness values are, we can do the following. Is.NA cups of coffee. So is.NA, NA does count as an element. So I did ask Chelsea how many cups of coffee she's had, and then we didn't get a response. Does that make sense? Like, I asked Chelsea, how many cups of coffee have you had? and there's no response. So that doesn't mean 0. It means I don't have data for that. There is no data in that spot. Does that make sense what missingness is? And so is.na is a logical check that asks, is that thing missing? So I want you to say yes or no for this first one. Is that thing missing? Is that, hey, Kayla, so good to see you. Law school, right? Kayla. 100 points for Kayla showing up right here. There's a Kayla level still. That is not missing. 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 And this one right here is missing. Just got out of crime law. Oh, Kayla, I was on campus last week. Congratulations. You're doing awesome. So proud of my students. Like, I mean, I feel like a parent because it's the only way I'm a parent. But I'm so proud of you, Kayla. So if I run is.na on this vector, what is it going to return? Does anyone know? The best thing to do is know what a code is going to do before you run it. So can you think of what this is.na cups of coffee is going to do? Is.na cups of coffee, what is it going to do? It's taking this vector of information. Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, I'll bring Chelsea, so we'll get to meet everyone. Trues or falses? Kayla, that'd be awesome. Trues or falses for this whole vector. So we'd have here false, 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 true, false. Does that make sense? So here we are. Does that make sense why it said this? Because it's saying true for the position where there's a what? Finish my sentence. The reason it says true right here is because that's the position where there is a what? It's saying, is this thing NA right here? So is it NA? And it's saying true because that is the position where the missing value is. But now check this out, and this is exactly where we got to in 474 yesterday. If I go and put a which around it, which returns the indices of where the true is. So if I have this, remember right here, this is.na, is this. Great job, Evan, right there. This whole vector right here is what this evaluates to. So what will this return now? It's going to return the position or positions of the trues. So the position or the positions of the trues. So this will return what? When I run this code, it will return what? It'll return what? What will return? Close. I think. Wait, Kayla, you're right. Oh my gosh, I can't count, Kayla. I thought it was 5 because Brian can't count. And then I was like, maybe Kayla's still here with all the knowledge. I love it. Yeah. Kayla, you're first. Kayla, we're throwing another 100 points for Kayla being first. Can't stop Kayla. I love it. And I looked, I was like, maybe I'm wrong. It returns 6 because 6 is where the true is at. Great job, Jarius, Kyle, Meath, and Evan. Peyton, good to see you here. So now watch this. Let's store this as position right here. And then let's go to our cups of coffee vector and go to the position where that is at. So you see that's the missingness. Is it 6 because it's 6 because that's the position where the NA is. So we asked are things NA? Does that make sense? Is something NA? And it said false, 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 true. And then when we get the which, it tells us where the true is at. What's new? I can't count. Yeah, there's a quote on that. Right? Can't count. So does that make sense there, Evan? The which tells us where the true is at. Like, watch this. Which, what will this return? What will this line of code return right here? Remember, which tells you the positions of the trues. Great job, Kayla. So what will that code right there return? What will that code right there return? Remember, which tells you the positions of the trues. Kyle, you're right. It's going to return 3, 4. So if you were to do a check right here, like, let's say, I'm going to just do a random one. Like, let's say, which empty cars miles per gallon greater than or equal to 20. This will tell me the blanks of the cars that have blank blank. This will tell me the blanks of the cars that have blank blank. This will tell me, because I'm doing a logical check right here to see if for these cars, this is a car data set. Says, yeah, this is a great question, Evan. So we're just kind of understanding what the code does and then just keep trying to utilize it. You have to practice it. And they have to come up with examples like this. So now we're not, I think Kayla's seen it right here. So it's going to tell me the positions of the cars that have miles per gallon more than greater than or equal to 20. So there's the positions, and let's just say car subset. And then we go to the empty cars data frame, and we take those rows, because these are the rows. And there's the cars that have a miles per gallon. Whoops. There's the cars that have a miles per gallon greater than 20. And you see right there, all those cars have a miles per gallon greater than 20 if you look at the far left. So we're able to subset using this because I used the which to get the positions, and then I took those positions from the data set by taking those rows. Are there any questions on this? This is practice, 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 practice. And so now, what you might need to do, I think we'll be doing this here in a moment, is we could take these positions from our coffee vector. I just commented all that out. Awesome, Kayla, 100 points. Swing by anytime. You're always welcome here, Kayla. Great luck in law school. You got this. So we're going to go to coffee positions, and we're going to overwrite with the mean of coffee, cups of coffee. But here's a problem. Cups of coffee currently has a what? Just repeat it again. Cups of coffee currently has a what? Cups of coffee currently has a what? Only slightly off with this guy. Yeah, have fun at the engagement fair, Evan. Message on Discord. Can you check Discord? Yeah, I see I got 2 messages now. Great. Yeah, Evan, anytime. I got caught up this morning, so I'll check out the Discord. Cups of coffee currently has an NA value. Does that make sense? So since cups of mean of it, we get an NA. How do we fix this? How do I take the mean when there's an NA in the vector? So I can't just take the mean of a vector if an NA is in the vector. If there's missingness and you take the mean of a vector with missingness, so I'm just asking what's the mean amount of coffee people drink. See it, 1120. Awesome, Evan. 100 points. You were doing some 324.74. Great job, Evan. We should remove the NA. I'm doing, Evan, remind me. I want to throw more points. I love it that it's, I'm so proud when people want to learn these things. And then, yeah. Make for vector excluding the NAs. We could exclude it, or we could just put in the argument right there, Kyle. Good answers. Meath and Kyle right there. We can do NA.remove true, and that will remove the missingness. So what did we just do? We just went to our cups of coffee vector, and we wrote into the position right there. And we could also round this if we wanted. Go round cups of coffee vector to 2 digits, and there's a rounded version, and then we could overwrite it. And so there it is right there. So if you look, I'm doing a lot of like overwriting my vector to just, create a rounded version of the vector so that way we don't get some crazy decimals going really far out. But now we've overwritten it. And I think that used the which and is the NA to find the positions of the missingness. One of the simplest ways of handling missingness is to replace the values with the median. So we could have done that here too. Technically, here, let's rerun the code, but let's change this to median. So you could have done this. I think we handled both. So I'd clean up your code a little bit. And there's the median. Is that making sense? Kimberly, excellent work getting all those points. Already got 0.4 for the semester. But I would clean up my code. Well, this is pretty cleaned up. But that's the vector right there with the missingness replaced by the median. So we could add maybe a comment right here. Something like new vector with missingness replaced by median. Does that make sense, Kyle? So I made a fake vector right here to kind of work with, and then I replaced the missingness. Well, I found where the missingness was at. So I checked, is it missing right there? So are things missing? That's what that checked. This right here, I guess I could do it in one step here, and I could say position of missingness. There was only one. And then storing position. So that's where I stored it. This is just a check to see if missing, because now I'm taking, well, you see I don't have that missing value anymore because I overwrote it. And so that's just a check to make sure I have the missingness, because had there been more missingness, if there was more missingness, it would have also got those. So it gets those 3 missing values now by doing this command right here. So then right here, we are storing the median to the values to the positions of missingness, storing median to missingness to positions. There's storing the median to the positions, and then rounding the vector. and just overwriting it. And there it is right there. Does that make sense, Kyle? How are people doing? And this was just examples. When I stored the position, I did not get numbers. I got NAs. Yes. So, well, check this right here. When you store the positions right here, you should get positions like that. When you run this, you'll get what's in those positions, which are NAs. Well, now there's ones because I overwrote them. But when you store the positions right here, you'll get the positions of the missingness. If you check what's in those positions, you'll get NAs. But if you overwrite them then at the end of it, in those positions at the end, you'll get the values of the median. Does that make sense, Kyle, right there? So if you want to look what positions you have your missingness in, that should correspond to where the missingness is at when you do this command right here. So this command right here should get you the positions. You're welcome, Kyle. Great questions. I know this is a lot. Like, it's if you do it multiple times, it starts to make sense. But I mean it truthfully. The first time I had to use the which command, I was like, what? The code in line 93 is replacing NA with the median. Yes. Great answers, Meath. 100 points right there. The code on line 93 is finding the median of the vector of cups of coffee and then removing the NAs, because if you don't remove the NAs, it won't find it. If there's NAs in a vector, you have to remove them to find the median. And then we are overwriting the positions right here. We're not overwriting the full vector. We're only overwriting the positions where the NAs are at, which we stored right here. Because positions are storing positions of NAs. That's what position is. Position is where are the NAs. So if you look, we had NAs in positions 6, 8, and 9. So we're only writing to positions 6, 8, and 9 of the vector. Does that make sense right there, Meath? So that's the positions we're writing to in the vector. Because we don't want to overwrite the whole vector. We just overwrite the whole vector with the median. But yeah. Awesome. What other questions are there? 320, 474, 201. Let me know. We can work any problem. But this was a really good... Kyle, I think it was Kyle asked this. Really good job. Do you think it's easier to create your new position variable BS, which is my code? Yeah, I think it's good right there. So you're going into the BAS vector. You're doing the code right there. So I see what you're saying. So what you did, and I'll write this right here. You ready? You're doing the following. You're doing cups of coffee. Inside cups of coffee, you're doing which, and then you're doing is.na. I do it in steps usually, and then cups of coffee. And so let's remake the vector. We'll just do it as another version. So here it is right here, and you see that gets those, and then you're storing the median to those positions, and you'd have to once again take na.remove equals true. And now we should get the new vector right there. Little shorter, just snapshot and upload to Canvas. Just make sure I have the right info. I bet you do. Do you want me to look at it later, Kimberly? If you send me a message, I could take a look. BS 320 assignment 1. Ooh, let's check that out here. And which one do you want to do on that, Payton? And Jarius, that'll do it too right there. I just do it in steps where I usually store this right here as something like positions. And then I take this and put this right here. Because now that's the same thing. Does that make sense, Jerry? It's like that thing right there is just called positions. That's where the missingness is at. So we could say vector creation, finding positions of missingness, and then overwriting with median. And then we could say checking vector. Good comments right there. I will message you later on Discord. Nice job, Kimberly. Excellent work. 4D, 4F. You got it, Payton. Let's do that here next. And Jarius, great work, great practice. Jarius, 100 points for suggesting we do it a different way, because there's so many ways to do things right here. And once again, you could just take, because this is positions, this is this right here. You could just do that right there. So that'll also do it. Great job. Let's head back to the main screen. We got some 4D, 4F, Quest BS 320. Woo! BS 320. Assignment 1. This is going to be a big assignment. Okay. Let's check it out. Where can I rewatch Monday's videos? Under the Watch Class Live button. So on Canvas, you will see the Watch Class Live button, and that will bring you to the playlist. And you can just, does that make sense, Taylor? Good question right there, Taylor, with 100 points. The Watch Class Live button, So you can always click Watch Class Live, and that'll also have the playlist for the videos. Or you can click the links I send out too, saying, hey, here's the link for today's video. So that'll bring you to the video. Thank you so much for asking. Homework 1. You're welcome. And 4D4F. Oh, let's go check this out. Need to re-timestamp. 48. Here we go. Okay. So we're doing 4D and 4F. You can actually go down to your document and click down here in the kind of table of contents and click to 4. And there you go. You're on question number 4. Now, what I like to do is I don't like to do it right here. Boop. I'm going to delete all this. I like to work the problem next to where the question is. Now, you need to make sure you have the .r data file loaded in and make sure, and I need to check this, that it has the right name to it. So make sure, where was it? I saw it right. There it is. Data assign 1320 and run this right here, and it should load everything in. If you have problems, let me know. It might have downloaded with a number. Sometimes Canvas can do that. We're going to try to make sure everyone has it. But especially tomorrow, a lot of people, we're going to make sure people notice this, because if it downloads with a number, you might have to add something like that right there. You have to look into your files and see if it has like a number, downloaded with a number. If it does, you might need to add that, because if it doesn't see this, it'll say can't find it. And if you get this right here, can't open the connection, double check, make sure the file is downloaded and it's in the right spot and has the right name to it. So make sure those things are correct. And then you will have the alumni, the calls, the ops data set, and the drugs vector right there. So let's go down here to question number 4, which we were just on. And the question was 4D and 4F. Okay. Now, as always, I like to work the problems right next to where they're at. We're going to click add chunk right here. And this adds a coding chunk where we can do code. This is an RMD file, which means we can create it into a Word document. It's different than a script. A script, which you can see right there, my untitled script, is just where you write R code. An RMD file is where you do R code, but you can also turn it into like a Word document, HTML, PDF, all those great things. I'm going to call this right here question 4D. Be careful. If you change this right here, it'll break it, because that's not a proper chunk, but you can add a title to it. So if you're scrolling back through, you could find chunk 4D right here. Notice there is no more chunk 4. And all these chunks, if you use names, have to have different names. So if you're being safe, you might just not name the chunk. It's okay if you name it, but I've seen people use the same names like work or something like that. If you call 10 chunks work, it'll get mad. Every chunk has to have a unique name. So you could call it 4D if you want to refine it. Okay, print to the screen the last 6 entries of a vector. So area code right here is a vector in alumni. And how do we get a vector from a data frame? What joins a data frame to a vector? So if you have a data frame, which is like an Excel spreadsheet, what joins a data frame to a vector inside of it? Peyton, you got it right there, the $sign, you got it. So you can get a vector out of a data frame, which is just one of those columns right there. Great job, Kyle, also. So the vector is joined by $sign and meet all those answers. We love it. So there's some really great commands we have. Now, there's so many ways to do this. Now, remember, Brian is doing similar but different work. Okay, so should you write down everything I'm writing down right now? Like, are you going to get the answers right now? Are you getting the answers right now? Just say yes or no in the chat. Should you be like, ooh, there's the answer. Copy the answer. I've seen people do this and turn it in. They're like, why did I get everything wrong? And I'm like, oh, no. So I've started no. Yeah, exactly. But you're going to see how to do this. This is going to make sense, I think. If I were to go to a data set like the MT Cars data set, I see so many people like put this in their assignments. I'm like, this is not needed. The MT Cars data set right here has been stored. And because it's a data set that always exists. And I want to look at, let's say, the last 6 entries of the data frame. I can run tail MT Cars and 6. And that's the last 6 rows of the data frame. But maybe I want to look at the last 6, and I want you to try to figure out. I want to look at the last 6 miles per gallons of cars. What would I change about this code right here? So try typing the code in the chat to get the last 6 miles per gallons of cars. I don't want the full data frame. I just want the last 6 miles per gallons. The last 6. Close, Meath. Close. Very close, Meath. Very close. Very close. You're missing something, though. 100 points, Meath. Good shot right there. Yep, you got it. Nice recovery. We love that here. Another points in the chat. There you go. There's the last 6. Now think about an animal. What would you do to look at the first 6? What would you do to look at the first 6 entries of the miles per gallons of cars? Think about an animal or a person. I don't have a tail. But what would you type instead of tail to look at the first 6? Head. Yeah. There's the first 6. What if I want to look at, let's say, the first 2 entries of this? What, you can copy paste my code or just change one thing. What if I want to look at the first 2 entries? So just think about how this function works. It's a really good function, head and tail. Tail gives you the end of something. Head gives you the start of it. And then what if I want to look at the first 2? Really cool little function right here. Yeah, that's it, Meat. That's all it is. Let's change this right here. There you go. First 2 is 2121. You could even confirm it right here by looking at it and say, oh, it's 2121. Great job, Peyton, right there. Is this making more... Peyton, are you like, okay. So in head and tail, you say, what do I want the head of? What do I want the tail of? Like, you tell it, okay, here's this thing. I'm going to give it the miles per gallon of the car and give me the first 2 things or give me the last 2 things. Like if you say tail, it's going to give you the last how many of her things. It gives 6 by default. So yeah, if you do this without anything, the default for it is 6. You can actually confirm this by looking at the function right over here, and you'll see it shows the default is 6. That is actually 6 in integer format. If you add an L, it's just integer format. Doesn't even show it, but L just means integer format. So if you do class of 2L, it'll say it's integer, but class of 2 is numeric. A little review of numeric and integer, but that L specifies the integer format. So why? I think someone told me and then I forgot. Maybe it means long? Maybe? And then numeric is double decimal? I don't know. Maybe that's what it means. There's so much to remember. So let's go here to E. What is the largest value of area code? There are NAs in here. So you'll have to have a certain argument to max to ignore them. Okay, so once again, Brian's going to do similar but different work. I'm going to add my chunk. I'm going to name my chunk for E so I can find it later by going through here. If you name your chunks, you can go right back to those spots. Good stuff. Let's pull up a data set. You will use reg class in 320 later on. If you don't have reg class, that's going to destroy the chunk. You would have to install .packages reg class. But I want to point this out. Have to comment out before knitting. A very common error right here is that people don't comment out their install packages. You can't install a package to a Word document, so you'd have to comment this out. How do I comment something out? You can't leave that in when you knit. Like, that's a huge error. And if you have problems knitting, tell me immediately. Most common error is people leave stuff like this in, and then I just say, oh, you can't have that. We remove it. It knits. But people spend hours trying to get this to work. How do I comment that out right there? How do I comment that out? How do I comment it out? What do I mean by comment it out? If I were to say, oh, comment that out, or you could delete it, but you could comment it out. Hey, Parker, good to see you here. Parker! Add that hashtag, Control-Shift-C or Command-Shift-C, or just add a hashtag before it. Exactly. So good. I got to see so many students. It was so exciting being on campus. Parker, great to see you here, and great to see you on campus. So reg class has a data frame inside of it. These are data frames that are preloaded in. Won't show up if you have hashtag noise job Parker right there. Survey 9, and this is from the reg class data set. A reg class package, I should say. Can we just remove that? Yeah. Install. You only install one time, Meet. So you could just do that. That works. Yep. And it meets. I'm sure KP told you. I met KP, right? I was walking around campus and they were like, are you Brian? I was walking near campus in the fort. And I saw KP with some friends. So I think, yeah, they were like, oh yeah, tell me to say hi. So let's go to age of, yeah. Age. I think there's a drinking age. Yeah. Why did I choose this vector? Why did I choose this vector? Oh my gosh, we're about to see some craziness. I chose this vector right here because there's missingness in it. So we asked people how many drinks do you have at a party, and some people did what when we asked them how many drinks do you have at a party. And we want to find out the maximum number of drinks people have had at a party. I'm a little scared. I'm scared. There is what in this vector? This vector is full of what? Once again, we put similar but different work. Remember, answer what the question asks you. There's a bunch of missingness, right? So a bunch of people didn't reply to us. A bunch of people just didn't tell us an answer. Maybe they just don't have an answer to it. I mean, they should probably say 0 if they don't have drinks at a party, but a bunch of people just didn't reply to our question. They didn't give us a value. So they're missing. That's what these NAs right here mean. This is a numeric vector. We could check the class of it to confirm, but this should be a numeric vector. And, oh, it's integer. Oh, so it's just like whole numbers. But let's check this out right here. How could I find the largest value of number of drinks at a party? What could I use to find the largest value of number of drinks at a party? Like, who had the most drinks at a party? What could I use? What function could I use? What function will allow us to tell the maximum number of drinks at a party? Max, Peyton, you're right. But here's a problem. You ready for it? 100 points. We're going to run into a problem because there's missingness. So I need to add what's called an additional argument. How do I start a new argument, like new set of instructions? To set a new argument, I add a what to a function. So I said, take the max of this, and then think and, add a comma right there, and remove the missingness. Someone said they've had 100 drinks at a party. Great job, Jarius and Meath right there, and Peyton. Someone said they've had 100 drinks at a party. That's the maximum value of drinks. Now, what you can do, which is really neat, is you can actually, this is a totally different thing. You can actually find them really quickly with a function called whichmax. What do you think whichmax tells me? Oh, we don't want NA and remove equals true anymore. There we go. What do you think whichmax tells me? It tells me the what of the maximum. Tells me the what. I don't think this person exists. Tells me the position of the maximum. And let me show you right here. If we store this as position, and then we go to our data frame, and we go to that row, because this is the row space, this is the column space. Tell me something odd about this individual right now. Tell me something odd about them. Look at their info and tell me something odd about them. Tell me something odd about this individual. Is there more? There's some things that might be unusual, but there's things that I think are impossible. They paid $1,000 for their haircut. They pay $1,000 for their haircut. But they only have one Facebook friend. They got their first kiss at 3. Nice, Shreya. Good to see you, Shreya. You got a shout out in the Rick and Morty video, Shreya. What numbers don't make sense? They got married at 4 years old. They sleep 24 hours a night, so how are they doing anything? But there's some ones that I'm just like, no. Sleep 24 hours a day, right? They've missed 150 classes. They want to weigh 6 pounds. That's their desire. I mean, their hashtag goals right there. They weigh 16 pounds. So yeah, this is garbage. They work 168 hours, which is the maximum. That is literally 24 times 7. You can't see it on the screen, but I guess I could have just done it in R. 24 times 7. So they work all the time, but they sleep. So I don't know what they do, but that's interesting. We should give them a call right here. They think their average attractiveness, that might have been out of 10. I can't remember. They won't have kids by 2 years old. So anyways, this is, yeah, the numbers are ridiculously interesting. Exactly, Shreya. It's a bit crazy. Yeah, Shreya, check out the Rick and Morty video. I gave call outs to Charlie, Mark, Charlie Quick, Mark Collins, or Mark Willoughby, in Haslam, and then I gave a shout out to Shreya in the video. So Easter eggs right there. But I thought that'd be pretty fun right there to just shout out As long as you don't mind. I mean, there's multiple Shreyas, but I was like, who wouldn't mind? I don't know. I was like, who's in the chat a lot and who says hey? So I will for sure. You're welcome. Yeah. I was like, now just say Shreya, hi, and then Rick appears. Here, wait. Okay, let's do. That was this question right here. Put more questions in the chat. We're gonna show the video real quick. Okay, so let's show the video live here. Okay, so more questions. We're just chilling out right now. We're gonna show the new Rick and Morty video. 116 views. I could do it live right here again. 4F. Let's do 4F next. You got it. Here, like, let's put here. Oh no, I didn't take the exact time on that. I'll have to check it later. All right, and then here we go. You ready? This is a quick little thing. Man, it's great to be back in Haslam. Charlie. Hey, Mark. Good to see you, Snea. How's everyone doing? Oh my God, Rick?
No time to chat, Brian. You gotta get in the car. You gotta get in the spaceship, Brian.
The car, the spaceship. Check out the rest of the video over here. There's the video right there if you haven't seen it. But thank you to everyone throwing some likes on it and all that good stuff. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I don't know.
No time to chat, Brian. You gotta get in the car. You gotta get in the spaceship, Brian.
I don't have it set up properly right now. I'm off the screen. I have to be way over here, way over there. And I've got to change the thing. The acting skills are amazing. Okay, let me re-level the volumes. I have to set that up to do it properly. Thank you so much, Meath, right there. And I was doing it live during class, the last few classes. I have it set up to do it live. Okay, so let's head back. I really thought yesterday that you were in Haslam when you started out. Oh, Sherry, that's too funny. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, everyone knows I did it live. Oh, thank you. I appreciate everyone liking that right there. Let's go check out 4F right here. We'll get serious again. Oh, wait, didn't we just do 4F? Oh, we did 4E. Oops, 4D and 4E. Whoops. Well, let's go do 4F. Let me go re-timestamp this. 54, 15, BS through 20, homework 1, 4F. Here we go to the main screen. Thank you so much, everyone, for all that positivity. I hope to make things fun. We make new intros every once in a while, so that was kind of our new thing this semester. But yeah, thank you to Nick Brown who did that too. Which row contains the maximum value? Ooh. What is the way? How can we find out which row has the maximum value of something? Good questions here, Peyton. What code allows us to find out which row has the maximum value of something? So let's add a chunk. Chunks are where we write our code. We just go to plus chunk. And how can we find out which row has the maximum value of something? How can we find out which row has the maximum value? You can use which and max. Which.max is the easy way. I'll show you the easy way and the hard way. Similar. So the easy way is the following. If we type which.max and then we go to MT cars, miles per gallon, it tells us the 20th car is the fastest. Kimberly! Oh, I like that, Kimberly, right there. So close. Which.max. But Kimberly adding in, Kimberly 200 points. Love Stat21 jumping in with some answers too. Which.max. So which one is the max? That's kind of what we're asking the computer, like which is the max? So this tells us the 20th car is the fastest car. And if you were to scroll down here, you would see, I think it's this car has, or most miles per gallon, the Fiat. So we could actually go and report that row by going right here and going in the data frame and reporting that row. And it's the Toyota Corolla. I'm sorry. It was the Toyota Corolla. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So it's the Toyota Corolla. So that's the easy way of doing it. Now, the harder way of doing it, it's not like really hard, but harder, like quote unquote, way of doing it. What's this? You can go right here and highlight something and put parentheses around it. That's why I love coding. You just use double click and then add parentheses and it does it for you. Is to take the max of the vector, empty cars, and then we need to do na.remove if there's NAs. Okay, so that's the maximum value. And then we would need to do a logical test right here. So let's say max value. Let's store this. How could I store this into max value? So I want to store into an object called max value. How would I store that into something called max value? I want to do it in like steps right here. I want to store into something called max value. How would I store into? Like, I know what the maximum value is. It's 33.9. Now I just want to create an object called, great job, Shreya, right there. Good practice. Store into is left arrow. That's why I like saying store into. So now I've stored into max value. Great job, Meath, right there. Good practice. So now I'm going to go to empty cars right here. I'm going to go to miles per gallon. That's a vector of miles per gallon. I'm going to logically check to see if it's equal to the max value. The return on this will be what's and whatches, because this is a logical check. I'm seeing if something is equal to the max value. This is a logical check. So the returns will be what's and whatses, trues and falses, because I'm saying, are the values that I see equal to the max value? So we're going to get trues and falses right there, and you can see where the true is at. I just need to now put this inside of a what to find where that true is at. So let's say logical check. So finding logical for max value. So now I need to put this logical check inside of a what. To find the position, I need to put that inside of a what. To find that position, I need to say where is that position, or which one is that position. Let's see. Kimberly, do you know? I need to say which one. Now, I'm doing this differently now. I'm not doing which one is the max. I'm saying which one is the true. So what do I need to do to find which one is the true? Because I've got a vector right here of trues and falses, and I want to know which one is the true. Like, where is it at? So what would I put this inside of right here to say which one is the true? That's just it, Shreya. Yep, there you go. And look, all this code right here that we did, same answer. So if you also do it as one step, let's say hard way as one step. So the hard way as one line of code would look the following. If you do it as one line of code, which I prefer not to do, equals. There we go. So I prefer to save it along the way, but if you look at the space-saving way of doing it, I prefer to use the easy way, which is which max, but it kind of looks similar, but it's more steps. You find the max value, you find out what is equal to the max value, and then you find the positions of the trues where the max value, where we found things equal to the max value. But the easy way is just to run which max. There's also which min, so you can find out which one is the minimum, just like that. There's where the minimum is at. Really neat little functions that are so helpful, which.max and which.min. Peyton, did that help out right there? To find out, yours is different. Remember, I'm doing similar but different work, but this should, and so don't write all this, obviously. If there are multiple trues in a vector, we'll return all the positions. Great question right there. So let's say we have a vector right here of 5, 5. Okay, so let's say numbers. Does that make sense? Those are just numbers. If I say numbers equals 6. Okay, so what will this return? Try to tell me what this will return right here. Tell me the return of this code on line 149. Numbers logically equal to 6. So we have a numbers vector here, and I'm asking if the numbers right there are logically equal to 6. So before I run this line of code, tell me what it will return. And that means exactly, Meath. Great job. So now let's take this right here and wrap it inside of a which, and which is going to tell you the positions of the trues. So what will this return if it's going to tell you the positions of the trues? And Meath, excellent work, Meath, and everyone, 500 points. Keep it up. What is it going to tell you when it gives you the positions of the trues? What is it going to tell you when it gives you the positions of the trues? So if you wrap it inside of a which, it's going to tell you the positions of the true. You got it. You're understanding what the code's doing. Excellent work. There you go. Tells you 2, 5, because that's where the trues are at. So you're asking, are the numbers logically equal to 6? False, true, false, false, true. And then you're asking, where are the positions of the numbers? Like, which positions are the trues? So if you look right here at the code, it just turns the trues into the position of where they're located when you wrap it inside of a which. So which returns the indices or the positions of where the truths are located. Great job, Meath. That's Intrea. Excellent work, too. What other questions? I think I have class in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Oh, my gosh. 201 coming up here soon. Office hours are technically over right now, but we'll probably just go a minute or two more. Got it. Nice job. See you in 20, Kimberly. Excellent work. Great job. Great practice. We'll end here in a moment. But yeah, this has been a really great office hours. We got some 201 done, some 320, some 474, 15, 5 minutes early. Yes, 15, 5 minutes early, 500 points, 5 minutes early. Yep. Be there 5 minutes early. If no one else has questions, let's do 4J. Let's do 4J. Let's finish off here with 4J. I like that. We try to go as much time as we can right here. Okay, BAS 320, homework 1, 4J. Great job, Peyton. That's what we do. Keep asking those questions. Whatever you're stuck on, just swing by or post it in the Discord. Let's take a look at 4J right here. So we need possible values of a vector. Possible values. So I'm going to go right here, print to the screen the possible values, levels of something. So how could we, what code, watch, you'll be like, no way. What code could help us find the levels of a vector? Now, levels are for categorical variables, but what code might help us find the levels of a vector? Like if I have the, let's say similar but different work. Just too afraid. I've seen too many people put my work in their stuff. And I'm just like, no, I'm showing you what to do. I'm showing you how to use it. Levels. And so I'm going to create the iris data frame just so you can see it. The iris data frame is a data frame of flowers. And you can see species has levels because species is a factor. So species is a factor and factors have levels. It just means a categorical variable. The other vectors are numeric. As you can see right over there behind my head, it's showing the class of those vectors, telling us how R sees them in the background. So if I run this right here, I will see all the species of the flowers and we actually see the levels. But rather than running the full vector, and I wouldn't include that, that's going to be excessive output, just run it inside of levels. And there you go. You could also do it another way by going here and doing unique. This should also get you the unique values. So those are the possible levels, but I'd probably run levels because levels just shows you the levels, but unique also shows you the unique values. Unique can also be used for quantitative data to show you the unique quantitative values. Like those are all the unique values. If you run levels on a quantitative vector, quantitative vectors don't have levels. It'll say null, as in there's no levels to that quantitative vector. So levels is a specific command that only works on a class of factor, where you could use unique and still get the unique levels. Like it only reports the things if they occur one time, like if they occur and it only reports them one time. Does that make sense right there, Peyton, on like what unique does? Unique could be used for anything to tell you the unique values. It just says, here's the unique values of this. Here's the unique values of this. Like it's not going to report all of them. It just reports the unique values. Like if there's 20 people in a room and 5 people share the same age, it would only report that age one time. Awesome. And then levels is only for categorical variables, so which are factors inside of R. So running levels on supple length, it's quantitative, so it says there's no levels to that. It says I can't report that. And that's where there's a class error right there, a disconnect between you're trying to run levels on something numeric. Peyton, I want to throw you 500 points, staying here till the end, asking those questions. And here's the thing, and what I always want to point out to people, coding's tough. Coding's really tough. And even some days I feel like I can't code. You say, Brian, you're just destroying code right here. Man, I watch people code some days and I'm like, man, I wish I could code like them. The only way you get better at coding is to practice. And then when you get stuck, ask questions. And that's really the great thing about being in this class is whether you're on the Discord or you're jumping in office hours, asking questions is the quickest way to learn something. If you ask people right there, I know multiple people, I know someone might speak up in chat and say, yeah, when you ask questions or when you're here helping each other, you start learning at a rate that's unparalleled. When you get stuck and you're sitting by yourself and you're like, 2 hours go by and you're like, nothing, I got nothing. So please post on the Discord, jump in office hours. Just remember this, whenever you're stuck, just ask. Office hours later today at... Office hours later today at 12:30 Knoxville time, and then we're doing a specific 2 p.m. only RStudio work, where I'm just going to only use RStudio. You're welcome. Nice job, Peyton, right there. That's what we like to hear. Make it easier, right? It's tough, but let's make it easier. Peyton, it's worth another 100 points. Swing by today. What did I say the times were? They're posted. Well, actually, now they're at 12:45 because I put the wrong time for my Stat 1 classes. I got to change that. Office hours at 12:45 to 2 p.m. 12:45 to 2, and then 2 to 3 for our only office hours, which I'm gonna do once a week, where I do our only office hours, where we only do work in R. Where I might do 201, but we're just gonna only do our work because believe me, 201, there's gonna be a lot of questions as we go through the semester. Anyways, we'll be doing 201 in 15 minutes. You're welcome, Parker. Great job. Until then, bye for now, everyone. Bye.
Hey Brian, what's up?
Hey, Adam.
Oh, what's this?
Adam, what are you doing? Adam.
No!
Bye, everybody.